San Francisco. Now, I apologize in advance with what I'm about to say. I've never been to San Francisco, and I do plan on maybe one day going, but everyone that I've met from San Francisco talks about it as being this great West Coast Brooklyn, and they talk about how it's so much better than Brooklyn and glorify it in such a way that puts down Brooklyn. And not to mention, I'm from LA, and so I have an inherent hatred of San Francisco, quite the way that Brooklyn hates Manhattan. The only difference is we're 3,000 miles away and we're duking it out 8 hours away. You know what I'm saying? If you want to live in San Francisco, just go live there! I've traveled 3,000 miles to find hippies, homosexuals, and homeless people. I'm Justin David Mora, this is Exploring Mora, and this is the Bay Area. So first stop, it's become a tradition, which I have to do at least once when I'm in California. Might as well get it out of the way now. In-N-Out. Double, onions, there you go. It's so effing good. I don't know how to do it. I mean, New York can have Shake Shack. I'll come back to California just for this every day. Every single day I will commute. There's two things California got right. Me being born here, and In-N-Out. Right behind me is the Golden Gate Bridge, and when it was built in 1898, it merged the boroughs of Manhattan and Brooklyn together and almost created the greater New York City. I think. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the largest suspension bridges in the world. Suspension being the key word, which is something I faced a lot of in middle school. San Francisco itself is an area where the city has very little visibility. Why? Because we're in a fog bank. I don't know how they did during the hail out of 2008. Alright, so here we have Stefan and Sativa forever. Putting locks on a bridge is a common occurrence that happened post-war in Europe. Something about being liberated, it got so big that in the States it's starting to happen more. If you go to the Brooklyn Bridge, it's being weighed down by thousands and thousands of pounds of locks. And it's ruining the integrity of the structure. It's not a big problem here at the Golden Gate Bridge, but if you go to the Brooklyn Bridge, you'd see so many. If you go to Europe, it's ruining their bridges. And you know, what's really important is that Stefan and Sativa, they last forever. The bridge, it was built in 1937. It was part of the Art Deco design. You can see flat plates rising up, siding into each other. And down here, you see Fort Point, which was built west of the Mississippi, but one of the first kind of forts pre-Civil War. The fort was so important that Strauss, the builder of the bridge, wanted to make sure that the fort was kept intact. So they built an arch that was over 200 feet wide just to keep the fort intact. Don't tell me Exploring Mora doesn't give you history anymore. Yeah, I bullshitted everything about that bridge. I don't know a single thing about that bridge other than it's above water. The ancient art of chai tea. Yeah, I remember I was at the bridge and some guy gave me a brownie and he said that he made it specially for me. And it was cool because then all of a sudden I started doing chai tea and I felt pretty dope. So here I am here at Golden Gate Park, which is kind of like Central Park, except not as central to the city, and kind of like Prospect Park, except not much of a prospect to see someone peeing in the woods, yet. My bark is worse than my bite. Am I right, ladies? So here we are at Golden State Park, where they have the oldest tree in the world. And if you look down that way, you'll see the second oldest tree in the world. And if you look at that really dark one over there, that's the third oldest tree in the world. So these are the steps of Telegraph Hill. There's supposedly 400 of them on our way up to Coit Tower. Oh my God, nobody tell me this place is gonna be so damn hilly. So I'm here at the top of Telegraph Hill at Coit Tower. And just like every other city that has their own civic obelisk, Washington, D.C. has the D.C. Monument, New York City has the Empire State Building, Paris has the Eiffel Tower, San Francisco has Coit Tower, built originally as a monument in remembrance of Lilybeth Colt, I think was her name. Coit, I mean. And it looks like a fire hose because she was an avid firefighter, when women usually weren't. Women. Excuse me, sir, for $1, what's the San Francisco treat?
Weed!
Yo! I was pretty lucky that guy wasn't an undercover DEA. Pretty lucky. So I'm here at the West Inn St. Francis Hotel on the 25th floor, stuck in the elevator. Beautiful view of San Francisco. Yeah. We're here until someone pushes the down button on the first floor. Can't complain. Oh, you know what they say about the elevator business. It has its ups and downs. Oh, it's the Full House house from the show Full House, where the ghost of Dave Coulier's career lives. Oh, it's the Full House house from the show Full House, where Mary Kate once lived. Which means that's where Heath Ledger died. Oh, it's Full House house from the show Full House. I thought it was red and white, but then they painted it purple. Whatever happened to predictability? I'm here at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, and I saw a ghost. Nobody believes me, but I was the only guy talking on the tour. 10 years ago, my sophomore year in high school, I killed a woman on Halloween. James Franco's a murderer! He admitted it in his book! Oh, hello. I'm here today in Palo Alto, Northern California, which is one of the most expensive suburbs of the Bay Area. This is where Facebook and Stanford are. This is also, Palo Alto seems to be where this gigantic egg landed from space around 75 years ago. And scholars do believe that the secrets to Facebook, Google, Apple, exploring Mora, they're all contained in this gigantic egg made from parts of old Soviet scrap metal. So I'm here in Campbell, California, which is one of the southern areas of the Bay Area. And it's another suburb, just like Palo Alto and San Jose would be. And this reminds me very much so of Laverne, California. In fact, on my trip here, I have found more similarities with suburban Northern California than I have with urban Los Angeles, leading me to believe that the differences in the north and south of the state are much more urban than they would be suburban. I mean, this is small town California everywhere you go. It's too hot up here. It's too hot everywhere. There they go. Oh, Covina! I made it home! Covina! Alright. So I'm here at Twin Peaks, which is essentially the top of San Francisco, where you can see all of the sprawl of the city. And as you can see, fog is king. Visibility is usually like this, and to me this is beautiful. It's a lovely day, weather-wise. And it's a perfect place to reflect on my time here in Northern California. It reminds me a lot of Brooklyn, and I'll certainly find aspects of Brooklyn in any major U.S. city. And because of that, I guess NorCal itself is pretty dope. And it's about to rain. For Exploring Mora, thanks for watching. When I said I was going to San Francisco, they said be prepared for any type of weather. And as you can see, I certainly am.